broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. You're here for the last ship, episode number 11, called Valkyrie. I am Monse Bolanos with you this week. Also, my awesome co-host, Bobby DeMuro.
Hey Monse, I just had a fly in my drink.
Yes, it did.
And I got a tweet from somebody. Okay, this matters. This is why I have a fly swatter. So if you see it around, I'm going to try to swat it.
There is a fly.
I got a tweet from somebody about this show. K. Kelly 3-Day on Twitter tweeted me, said, don't put into the universe that Jeter is going to die. I responded to her that I was going to say I'm an angel. I responded with I'm Angel. Which is
you're not.
Stupid. So it's been a bad day to be Bobby. It's been a really bad day to be Bobby. It's a long day. Let's just talk about this show because I need to go to bed. There's that fly.
Please kill it because I swear to Lucifer. I'm gonna not be able to do this with this fly.
I am Angel. Hey, one thing before we get started, actually one serious thing.
Yes.
So next week's show is with Travis Van Winkle. He is gonna come here, Lieutenant Danny Green. Travis Van Winkle's the actor's name, the person's name.
Yes.
Lieutenant Green will be sitting right over there. One important note for the folks at home. It is going down on Tuesday, September 1st. At 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern in America, 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, September 1. We had to change schedules around. The VMAs are on August 30th, which here in LA just screws everybody up. I believe Kate Aquilano is at a wedding.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to meet her future ex-husband. That's unfortunate.
That's going to be a future ex-husband. That's going to be tough for her.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, September 1, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So please tune in for that. Tuesday, September 1, 6 p.m. Pacific. And also, tweet us your questions. I've gotten tweets already. If you want to do on the YouTube, the link of this one, if you want to do questions in the comments, we'll take them there. You can also tweet them at Monse Bolanos, at Bobby DeMuro. All right, you got to do the show now because I'm just going to swat the flies.
Yeah, he's just going to swat the flies as I talk about an episode that made me nervous, uncomfortable. I even shed a tear.
Did you really?
A little bit, yeah. I was fighting it, and if I wouldn't have fought it, it would have been like, okay.
Who are you going to cry for then? Which one?
No, it was the scene. It was the scene with Beavis.
When she dies specifically? Okay.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the episode, you
shouldn't
be
watch
watching
the after show.
Or hear us. Don't be listening to us.
Don't be watching the after show.
Don't
before
do
the
that.
Episode.
Yeah, it got me. Just because she was surrounded by two people who really cared about her, not just Burke, who has been, falling in love with her this whole time, but also Wolf, who they've had a close relationship. And you just knew instantly. Like, I actually didn't think. After we lost, I believe it was Lieutenant Lynn Walker. That's who it was. After we lost Lieutenant Lynn Walker, and then we lost Andy Chung, I was like, there's no way we're going to lose somebody else. And then we lost Beavis. Is that the spoiler alert you got?
Yeah, the spoiler alert I got was Beavis. I looked on Twitter before I watched. Just stupid. Always stupid. Beavis was a surprise. This is going to sound terrible, it's rather lose her than Chung. Because she is a gun. She's a hired hand. You got a few of those. Yeah. I know you're losing them now. But you have Burke and Wolf and Miller, who wasn't on the mission, and a bunch of guys who could come in, guys and gals. Chung's the bad one. Chung had a skill set.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's tough. Now, from a relationship standpoint, losing Beavis, I mean, Burke, dude.
That I know.
You should have got it. You should have sealed the deal when you could.
Right? That last week. And actually, I'm also against her dying because I feel like the show is heavily populated by males. And just the ship itself, why kill a woman?
Fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. Although I will say that her character increasingly had been limited. They didn't go into her backstory.
Okay.
So they would have had to have started, They didn't go into her backstory. They haven't with Wolf a ton.
Right.
But they didn't go into her backstory, and she had just kind of the thing with Burke. And maybe they felt like, well, it wasn't going to go anywhere, or we need Burke for missions or for something else. Who knows what's going to happen next week. I'm okay with her leaving.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against it. You're right. They're like, Chung is definitely a harder pill to swallow in the sense of the ship and what he did. And I'm not like dying over her. It just, why? It was...
And it could be business. I'm looking this up right now. I promise you guys I'm not texting. I'm looking up research.
He's texting.
It could be business. The actress could be doing something else.
Yeah.
She could have had another gig and said, hey, you got to write me out. So.
It's true. But it was a great scene. I loved it. It got me. But let's start from the top. I really like how we basically start off right where we left off. I thoroughly enjoy that. And the first thing we hear is basically the survivors from the explosions in New Orleans saying things. You don't see them because you see Tom Chandler on the ship and everybody, but you hear voices. You hear people exchanging information. And one of the things they say is, look what the Navy did to us. So, yeah, these survivors are not thinking that it's Sean Ramsey or the Immunes or anyone else. They know or they think it's the Navy ship because of that video that they altered. But Team Cobra is kind of on their own mission. So we'll talk about Team Cobra first, and then we'll go into the big stuff.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Team Cobra is trying to save the survivors from this explosion, and they're helping everyone they can. I thought we were going to lose one of them. Right when you were like, oh, spoiler, why did I see this on Twitter? I thought we were going to lose somebody from Team Cobra. Just because we didn't know they were going to go out to the oil rig at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, ugh.
Yeah. And it would have been tough to lose any of those three.
Yeah, it would have been really hard to lose any of those three. They start helping out, and they're trying to help the survivors. But later on in the episode, Team Cobra has responsibility to try and triangulate the signal that they're trying to find. And they do find it, and they figure out it's this oil rig that has the center connection, everything. Unfortunately, Team Cobra cannot stay on land helping you in that fly swatter.
What's the problem?
It's just pretty and pink and a flower.
I'm just waiting for the fly to come
I know,
back.
it is around and I see it and I hear it and it's annoying. But they
didn't mean to cut you off.
It's just, I see it. Your eyes are like, where is this? Where is this? I'm going to use it. Unfortunately, they don't get to stay on land very long because what is that guy's name? The guy that they had captured that's part of the Immunes.
Oh, God, we talked about him last week.
Yeah, we talked about him last week. And I don't think we got his name this time.
Well, we don't. It doesn't matter anymore because he's gone.
Because he's gone. But the Immune from...
We were given his name, the guy that they captured, and I can't think of it because we're dumb.
Yes.
No, listen.
Straight up.
This is why I would make a bad soldier. This is going to sound terrible about me, but it's totally true. I would make a bad soldier because this mission for Cobra to go help survivors, hundreds, thousands, however many people are dead and wounded and in pain, and the Navy sends 3 guys in a little boat.
Right?
I'd be like, dude, utilitarian theory, man, let's not even do it. But to the Navy, this is what you do. You help people, you help all the people you can. I would be a terrible sailor. I would be like, nah, Captain Chandler, I'm good.
I'm going to stay.
Let's stay on the boat.
I'm going to stay here. But if you want to send...
If you want to send 100 dudes, I'll be dude 101.
Exactly.
I would make a terrible sailor. But it's like, what are you supposed to do? And I know that that's what they have to do. It's their job. But how much can you do with them? I mean, it's nice. The one thing that they did, and maybe the other reason to make the rescue with Team Cobra, was you're actually gaining intel, right? They're already out there, but you're actually gaining intel, and you're like, well, what's the lay of the land? These people turn out not to be immunes. They're not against us until the well was poisoned by that dude who showed him the video. I just saw the fly.
I know, it's over here, but I agree.
So you gained a little bit of intel, right? So that's a valuable thing.
Right.
And nobody died. And Texas shot in the ass was just a shot in the ass.
So, I know, which I loved. I thought it was great that he says that he would get that. He's like, get shot in the ass. And...
I love the one line that was almost too ridiculous, though. The one line I had a problem with in this episode when he jumps in the boat after he gets shot and he goes, I can't believe they shot me in the ass.
Yeah.
Which is funny. That's Tex. But it wasn't people who they had a history with. It was just a random non-immune regular
just civilians.
People. If it were the Ramseys, that line would have been perfect. Because it's like their nemesis, but Tex is the one who gets shot in the ass. Yeah. But these were just strangers. So I was like, well, I guess you got to use the line.
You gotta, and you gotta
throw it on.
You do. But they leave, and that helps them eventually get to the oil rig. But we'll talk about like the beginning of the other side of what's happening here.
Okay.
Because so they're trying to deal with the release of this video that Sean Ramsey has sent out to everyone, where he uses the word, we were first here as allies to the USA. We no longer are when we realize the truth, that the Navy is attacking us and there's a new world order that's going to take place. And this is all being broadcasted. And all you basically have to do is pick up a phone, They can't stop it. They don't know where it's coming from. But anyone and everyone is getting this message by Sean Ramsey. And he's watching himself.
He's a little narcissistic.
Yeah, he's like his biggest fan.
Well, listen, we see this later in the episode. So the last couple episodes with Sean Ramsey specifically, he's been crazy. Like he's insane, but he's also been the more level-headed of the two brothers. And then today we got two big signs that we all need to think about moving forward from Ramsey, from Sean. And the first one was this: watching himself. He was almost like mouthing words, like admiring himself or whatever, which was a little stupid. Like, dude, you got 1,000 things to do. You already filmed this. You don't need to be watching yourself. But he is because he's a narcissist. But that egomaniacal thing is going to come back and bite him. This looks great on TV.
I know.
The second thing is the biblical reference. The brothers. What do you say, Moses and Aaron?
Yeah, yes.
That's like anytime you compare yourself to somebody in the Bible. Here's my rule. If you compare yourself to anybody in the Bible, red flags go way the hell up. Like that's just like, what do you think of yourself to be in a book like that? You know what I mean? It's a little scary.
Oh, yeah.
So I know he's not comparing himself to Jesus, but it doesn't make it better that he's comparing himself to Moses.
Not at all.
That's not a
at all.
thing.
Not at all.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Two signs, man. Red flags, purple or pink fly swatter should go up at home. Boom. This guy's trouble. We already knew he's trouble, but this guy's
I know, it's like we already knew
this
that.
guy's like mental trouble.
Yes, I agree. This episode, I thought he's mental.
Yeah.
Necessary. Before it was like, oh, he's just like greedy and wants power. But now I think he's mental because of how he was like watching himself and saying the lines like he was a groupie.
Even his brother. Even his brother.
Yeah.
His brother, when they sat in that Moses conversation about the body, Moses and stuff, and his brother was kind of sitting there like, yeah, this is what Mom said. Yeah. You're right, brother. You just anything to make it stop. Anything to let me go away. When the crazy brother suddenly seems uncrazy, you got a problem.
I know. I was wrong about him. Well, no, maybe he still might shoot his own brother because he's crazy. Get this fly.
I'm actually going to use it as
I know.
a fan.
Now you're fanning yourself. I don't even know what.
Yeah, folks, we got a lot to talk about today on the Last Ship After Show, as you can tell. I'm fielding tweet questions, too.
Do it. Let's do it.
Oh, somebody just pointed out, was this the second time that Tex has been shot in the ass? What was the first? I just watched the whole first season. I'm trying to think about that. It sounds like it could have been the second time. I'd have to go back and look at that. But other tweets, a couple other tweets of note. Somebody asked, is Beavis and Lieutenant Chung, Ravi and Lieutenant Chung's death, the major death in this season?
No.
Or will there be more?
There will be more.
I agree with you. Who will it be?
I say, I don't know. That's rough. Because
you already know who I say.
Burke.
No, come on.
Who did
who
you
have I been
say?
saying the whole time?
Who have you been saying?
Jeter.
Oh, Jeter. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm stupid. You have.
I know, and I'm
Jeter.
not supposed to put that out in the universe, but I'm putting. I think
Jeter?
it's going to be Jeter.
No, then who's going to give those important speeches?
That's true. You will lose speech montage guy. That's absolutely
Yeah,
true.
you're not. No, Jeter's not going anywhere. It's got to be somebody that hurts us a little bit. Like
Jeter would hurt us. I love the guy. That's why it would hurt so much if he left. But if Baldwin, his real name, if Slattery or Chandler left, if either of those two guys left, it would hurt really, really bad. Jeter, emotionally, man, I love Jeter. But he's the third of those three, and you could lose him without losing the trajectory of the show.
Okay. If this would have been season 1, I would say okay, because he was going out on missions. This season, though, he's been staying back.
That's true.
So if you predict he's going to die on ship.
There's
going to be a torpedo.
Coming episode that there's a torpedo situation and it looks like the ship gets rocked. So I'd assume it gets hit. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying, and it doesn't have to happen this episode, but it would have to happen soon because there's 2 left.
2. There's 13, season? Right?
So it's after this, there's 2 left. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Okay.
1?
So it would have to happen pretty damn soon. I know there's 2 because it's Tuesday, September 1 is our makeup day for the 30th, and then the 6th is the finale. And Travis Van Winkle couldn't do the 6th because it's Labor Day.
That's right.
That's the problem. So there are 2 left.
Okay. No, I can't be Jeter.
Other folks are saying we're done with crew deaths. I could see us being done too, just because there's 2 left. But I think there's 1 more coming.
I think so too. I feel like there's 2 episodes left. It won't happen this coming episode. It'll happen season finale episode. That's what I think.
I need to throw out a question to our viewers because we have Navy folks who watch this who know a lot. The customs after death, there was the thing when Jeter was giving his speech during the speech portion of the show, which is like every episode they give a great speech. The plate, and it looked like a lemon piece and maybe like a thing of salt or something.
Yeah.
Or the little white, was it salt or sugar?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
what does that mean? Is that, I mean, it had to be significant because they did the shot.
Right,
they
something
shot
for
it very
honor,
specifically.
I thought. Like, it's honoring something,
Yeah.
someone in some capacity.
So what's the memorial? We just saw it. I would have looked, if we see this is the one bad part about doing after shows right after. If you see it on Monday, you do the after show on Tuesday, you look stuff like that up. When you see it at 7:52 and you do the show at 8:01, you don't have a lot of time.
Right.
But I would like to know that if there's a custom there because they shot it specifically, they shoot things specifically, that was not an accident. So what is the lemon, and is it salt or sugar?
It looked like salt.
Or whatever
it looked like a plate.
Yeah, it was
right?
just open on a plate.
Yeah, it was weird. Very clean, very almost
and like glasses I think were turned over. Maybe I'm thinking too much. But that would be something I would want to know.
Yeah. Let us know if that's anything. Not to go too away from Jeter and the important speeches, what did you think of Michener's speech that he does?
Great
Because they
speeches.
tape him.
Yeah.
And that's the message that they're going to try and get out to the people before they go out to the the oil rig. You know why I said blue? Because Project Blue knows, which we really talk about. But the oil rig, that speech, well done.
So Michener, I can't remember which one of us mentioned it last week. Maybe it was Nick, who said that he's not totally on board with Michener.
I've said that.
Okay. So
I don't know if I said it last week, but I said it when he first came out, and one of my reasons is because of the roles this actor has portrayed in the past.
Yeah. So Michener now appears to be on board. After this speech, I think he's on board.
You think he's fully 100% on board?
And maybe he always has been, and we just read too much into it.
Yeah, maybe, 100%.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great speech. Actually, when Chandler walks in, because Slattery is taping him, and when Chandler walks in, what are you doing walking in on somebody taping such an important speech?
Doesn't he know you don't walk in during recording? You
Seriously,
stay outside the studio.
There's a wig-wag light probably going on.
What are you doing, dude?
Like,
if I was Slattery, I would have just yelled "cut" and been like, "Dude,
get out!" Yeah.
Who are you?
Yes, I was really irritated by that.
You might be the captain of the ship, but Slattery is directing this film.
Yes, I was.
Get the hell out of my film.
And Michener didn't even like flinch. It's like, come on, you would have been like, "What are you?"
I know.
As I was saying, I'm the president. Like,
every time we have a producer in here run around to like pamper me or do some diva thing that I need,
like, give him the fly
swat. Oh yeah, I'm always like, "Hey, who are you? Like, what's your like? Do you need to take a picture with me? I'm like kind of a big like I would totally do that if I was Michener.
Yeah.
You're the president.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'd be a terrible president too.
You probably would be.
This show has a lot of jobs I would not be very good at doing.
No.
They include holding guns, physical labor, honor.
Physical labor.
Honor.
Oh man, that's Mr. Bobby DeMuro for you.
A lot of bad jobs for me. I'm just gonna sit here with my fly swatter
I was like,
and
fan yourself.
Talk about it.
So yeah, I thought it was a great speech too. I was like, oh well said, well done monologue, good job. But Project Blue knows. So Slattery comes across these private documents that have been, certain words have been blacked out, and this is what Sean Ramsey is using to deliver these incorrect and conspiracy theories. Incorrect facts, conspiracy theories, all that good stuff. And Project Blue Nose was their undercover mission to go find the cure that they didn't even know what was. Remember, they didn't know they were out to find a cure?
They had no idea what they were doing.
Right, only Rachel Scott.
Yeah.
So they come across that, and that's when Michener says that powerful statement that you liked when he was like, no, we take over the network and we use it for ourselves. And you were like, oh, Michener.
Jeffrey Michener.
Yeah, you got excited about that one.
Kate's boyfriend.
Yeah,
hey, Kate.
I think you wanted him for a boyfriend for that hot minute.
I miss Kate and Nick, by the way. Kate has a migraine.
You don't miss Nick, don't lie.
Nick's sick, too.
It's going around.
And
the sickness.
Is it, though?
Yeah, at work, everyone at my work
So
is
do I
sick.
need to be worried about it? It's August. How are people getting sick in August?
It's the change in weather. How, like, last week it was, like, 102, and then this week it's, like, 87.
What are you talking about? This week it's 104.
No, not, like, tomorrow it will be, but these past couple of days have not been. That's what it is, the change in.
When you don't have a weekend social life like I do, you tend to stay in. No, I really like that speech. I really like Michener's whole idea here. He's getting a little tougher.
Mm-hmm, there it went.
I almost got it. He's getting
Not
a
even
little,
a little bit.
he's getting a little swing and a miss.
Yes.
He's getting a little more decisive.
Yes.
This is a big thing. The last couple episodes and early on, he was very indecisive. He couldn't decide what he wanted to eat, and now he's really into it. I just hope it doesn't swing too much and he becomes power happy.
Yeah.
Because that would ruin the show for me. If Michener became too power driven and it became too much of a power struggle with him and Chandler, I like Chandler so much because everything he does, it doesn't work out perfectly, but obviously it works out because it's the main story of the show. But everything he does is compelling, and he's smart about it, and he knows the shit better than anybody. Yeah. He is an expert on that, obviously. And if we had a power struggle between him and a guy who's ignorant to the Navy, I get it a little bit. You have to do it a little bit probably. But if it happened for like a whole season and there was a story arc, I'd be real disappointed in that.
Yeah, that's not what I want to see in the show.
I want to see Eric Dane kick ass. And sometimes if he fails, he fails, but I want it to be on Chandler's terms. I don't want that to be on anyone else's. And remember early in season 1 when Slattery had a little bit of a power struggle with Chandler? I was
just going to bring that up, yep.
And it ended quick. And that was good. Yeah. A little bit of a struggle, okay, you don't trust him a little bit, okay, we can get discord and whatever. But a whole story arc of it?
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that.
I agree, and I'm totally with you. It's because Michener, come on, he's not even really a president. Like, he doesn't even know
he's
the
HUD
real,
secretary.
the real responsibilities of a president, let alone a Navy ship. So I'm with you. If that,
if
they focus on that,
and maybe they, and I'm not saying they will. We don't know what they'll do in season 3. Maybe they will focus on it, and they'll be compelling as hell. You know, they're paid to write this stuff. But I get the feeling that storyline, if they did a power struggle with Michener and Chandler, I'm gonna sit here next year and I'd be like, ugh. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But we are gonna see a little bit of it, and we probably should.
Yeah.
Michener needs to be put into his place because he's strong and stuff, but one day he's going to go too far doing something. And in the meantime, we just need to have people stop dying.
We do need to have people stop dying.
They're losing people like flies. They need reinforcements. Seriously.
I know, but Chandler did tell Michener, we will do it. He said, I will get it out. Remember, he was like, we need to get this out to the people. He's like, I will get it out or die trying.
And he nearly did.
And he nearly
now,
did.
Chandler was never like at risk for death.
No.
When Chung died, I was like, okay, Chandler's not going to die. Because you never kill off the main star hero the same day you kill off other people.
Yeah.
Right? He gets his own death
Oh,
episode.
yeah. 100%.
So if Chandler dies, it's going to come like face to face with Sean Ramsey or some other villain we have yet to meet. Right. And it's going to be like drawn out the whole episode, and there's going to be tears in the viewing room at AFTERBUZZ TV.
Yep.
And there's going to be like, I'm just not going to go on Twitter for 3 days afterwards. That is what's going to happen when Chandler dies.
#truth.
Yeah.
So they try and go get this video out to the network. They go to the oil rig, and it's a group of them. And they get on the oil rig, and they all split up a little bit. Right before shit hits the fan at the oil rig, I thought it was very adorable when Biva says to Burke, green shoelaces. And then he's like, what? My shoelaces ripped. And you make it seem like there's a convenience store around. And then Woof tells him, she's got you now. And then he slowly, under his breath, says, yeah, I know.
Poor Burke.
Right? I did not think Beavis was going to die, especially after that encounter. I was like, they're going to get it on.
We should have texted Jocko Sims right when it happened and been like, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Because, I tweeted him. I was like, I shed tears with you. Yeah. I was like,
awesome.
I shed some tears with you, man. I feel
incredible.
it. I did not see that coming. You even asked me, who do you think's going to die? And I did not mention her once. Nobody, right? Like, I didn't.
Because she's a good character to die, as weird as that sounds. She's important, and you remember her, and it gets you, but she's not so important that the whole thing gets aborted.
Exactly.
So she's a good, and you would never think of her. So she's a pretty damn good character to die. That's good little piece of writing. Chung, man, that's tough. We talked about at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Chung dying is real hard.
I know. And Andrea Garnett, Lieutenant Garnett, you could, her face when Chung.
Hey, more than that, what about Granderson?
Granderson. Yeah, okay, so they're in the oil rig, and like, they spread out. They actually find Valkyrie, or it's a person.
Valerie,
played by Tanya Raymond, who I think I've seen you on Law & Order SVU. That's how I remember.
You've seen everybody on Law & Order SVU. Yeah. Law & Order SVU employs more actors.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dick Wolf and company.
Everybody's guested on that.
Yeah.
I have an episode coming up next week on that. Just kidding, I don't. If I did, though, It would be with the fly swatter.
It would be with the fly swatter. So they find Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. So this is interesting because they convince her a little too easily. For somebody who is so well, we would consider them conspiracy theories. For her, it's truth. For somebody that is so driven by her truth,
flies in your hair.
Government. Are you serious?
Yeah, just watch yourself.
The government is out. Are you kidding?
No, it's seriously, swatch yourself. Hit yourself in the face.
You're lying. You're so lying, right? I'm not hitting myself in the face.
All right, you could have gotten it, but
millions of people are watching this, and by millions, I mean hopefully thousands.
Yes.
And we love you guys.
We really do.
Hi, Mom. Okay. Here's the thing about Valerie. Let's start over. Valerie, she gets convinced too easily.
Okay.
She is a conspiracy theorist, what we would consider one. She has these conspiracies about the Navy and the government and not stopping the thing and killing people and blah, 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 and all this stuff.
She's real smart.
And she is.
Apparently.
And then Chandler is like, well, your conspiracy is wrong. And I liked his sarcasm a lot,
yes, it was actually great.
It was funny.
Yes.
But Chandler then is like, here's the truth. And Valerie's like, okay. Like, she didn't fight enough. I don't know. She seemed so standoffish. She seemed like she was so ready to stand up to these guys who she didn't respect. Mm-hmm. And then Chandler's like, no, you're wrong. I'm right. And she was just kind of docile, like, oh, okay. And then, things blew up and she tried to run anyways.
Yeah.
But it seemed weird. They didn't convince her. Now, the thing that did convince her is being on the ship.
Yeah.
Valerie, you gonna learn yourself a lesson. Mm-hmm. When you go on that ship and you see people dying around you, we are not playing on the USS Nathan James. I don't know why I'm getting so amped right now.
Yeah, all
but
for Valerie.
That was my favorite part of the triage scene when Chung died.
Yeah.
Beavis died, Granderson's crying, Burke is crying, all this amazing stuff is happening. My favorite part was the cuts back to Valerie. Because she's like, excuse my language, she's literally sitting there like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is so real.
This is, yeah.
This is not a joke.
Yeah, when they're getting explosions, or what, I don't even, how were they shooting? What was that? What kind of?
It was like an RPG, like a rocket propelled.
There we go. I would not know that. But yes.
You mean on the boat?
Yeah, the little boat with the civilian, which we at the time didn't know was just a normal civilian that had heard the message that Sean Ramsey had set out. So this isn't even the immunes. This is just somebody else, another threat that comes out of nowhere on a small little boat and then starts blowing up the oil rig. And then shit hits the fan.
Literally, when that oil rig blew up.
We lose Lieutenant Lynn Walker. Instantly, he gets blown up. The one that was like dealing with the gases that Beavis was like trying to help out. And also that is when Aisha is around one of the explosions. And Chung is a hero. He grabs her and he's like, come on, don't give up. Let's go. We got to go up these stairs. And they go all the way to the top. He says, I think it's broken. Is he talking about his arm or his,
I think he's talking about a bone.
About something, right? Because he couldn't get up. And she's telling him, like, don't give up. Like, let's go. At the same time, Chandler goes after Valerie because everyone's kind of, like, lost their head a little bit just from the explosions, like, trying to get back into, what am I trying to say? Like, they can't concentrate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so Chandler goes after her. Still kind of dazed and confused, but he goes after her.
And he shouldn't have done it, and this is why I wouldn't make a good Navy person, is I would have said, screw you.
When she ran,
Try getting
I was
off
like,
this thing.
Shoot her in the leg.
Where are you going to go?
Why are you going to run out? Shoot her in the leg and then go grab her instead of chasing her.
Where are you going to go? Also, how'd you get on here? Did she have a boat? Did she just take a boat out? How'd you get on here, and how do you eat? That's what I want to know. How do you eat?
What's in that bag?
I mean, did the oil rigs, I assume they have stuff, because people go on the oil rigs to work. Mm-hmm. But, like, how much stuff do they have? This has been months.
Well, what I thought is that she and Sean Ramsey have a friendship.
They do.
And so Sean Ramsey's the one providing her with that.
Yeah, maybe later. That's true.
Yeah,
so,
like he'll show up. I mean, they have a sub. He knows that's their center of
I guess. Okay, that's a good point.
The network.
I guess just like at first, when she first went out there before she met him or whatever, it's like, did you bring enough food for like months?
Yeah, that is true, because she said that she went out there to try and stay away from the disease.
Yeah.
And she said, I created the 6 million untraceable. I have 6 million untraceable followers to this. So she went there.
Yeah.
But what if maybe we'll find out. That's a good question. How did she get out there in the first place? Maybe Sean put her
I
out
assume
there
just
in
a
the
boat,
first place.
but I think she went out there on her own. But I assume she got it's not that far off.
Yeah.
Because they had that civilian boat come out. It's not like it's a big deal. It came out pretty quick. Yeah, I guess. So just wondering the time level of all that, because she didn't look like she was, a girl who would rough it. She was kind of a tech nerd. She had the engineering stuff.
Like, she didn't look like dirty, and like she'd been through some rough stuff. I mean, her hair looked good. She had like color in her hair.
I feel like that was probably part of her style, though. She was a little like, you know.
But I'm saying like.
Oh! We just got something good on Twitter. Keep going.
What I'm saying is her hair had color in it, and for all the ladies out there, having a fake color in your hair requires you to constantly keep doing it. So I don't know how you had the time to keep doing that. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully we will get some answers. But the oil rig basically gets destroyed. And everyone that was on the oil rig goes back on the ship, and this is when we kind of find out what's happening. That Andy Chung is bleeding from his brain. Burke's all burnt up. Beavis is not responding. Aisha seems to be okay. But one by one, we start to kind of lose them.
I'm glad you said lose them, because this is wonderful, and this is why Twitter is the greatest thing that's ever been invented. And I'm serious about that, because the communication is so fast. We got an answer for this. Thank you to Ben Quo, who talked about the missing man table. What we saw. So in the scene, they weren't able to bring a body back. I can't remember who it was. Was it Walker that they said, or the other one?
There was another one that they couldn't bring back.
They weren't able to bring a body back.
Yes.
That is the missing man table when somebody is killed in action, fallen comrade table, missing or imprisoned military service members, point of observance. Couple things. Table is set for one. They say set for 6 places, members of the 5 armed services, and a 6th place reminiscent of civilians who died during wars. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions. Single red rose in the vase signifies the blood that may have shed in sacrifice to ensure freedom of the USA. Yellow ribbon on the vase is the same yellow ribbon. Yellow ribbon worn on their lapels that thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper accounting of their comrades who are not among them. Mm-hmm. Slice of lemon represents the bitter fate of the missing. Salt sprinkled on the bread plate, symbolic of the countless fallen tears of families as they wait. Inverted glass represents the fact that the missing and fallen cannot partake. So there was an inverted glass.
Wow.
And a lit candle reminiscent of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home away from their captors.
Nicely done, production crew on Last Ship, for putting all that together.
And that's the thing. I mean, they need to,
get every detail.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show. We had Stephen Kane on. He talked about it. The actors talked about it. They get every detail right, but that's one of them, the fallen comrade table or the missing man table. In this case, fallen comrade, because they know he died.
Thanks for tweeting us that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Interesting, yeah. And I'm glad we were able to get this now and able to share with everybody else. That's crazy. So we, like I said, start saying goodbye, losing them one by one. We lose Andy first, Andy Chung. And right there, not only do you see Garnet's eyes kind of just, look like she's lost one of her kids, like somebody she trained, somebody that she worked closely with. But you also see Aisha, because Aisha was just saved by him. Mm-hmm. I was not loving it. I was like, damn.
A lot of guilt for Aisha, a lot of guilt for Granderson.
In a lot of her character, like in a lot of her career on Last Ship.
No, the mom.
Exactly.
Absolutely. There's a lot of guilt with her.
Yeah.
Real or not. I mean, she shouldn't feel guilt for this. She was on her mission. She shouldn't have felt guilt for her mom, but she did, and she will. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to probably see that from her maybe a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then Beavis. And when they first bring her in, they say she's not responding. And I was like, she's breathing. Like, her eyes are open. What do they mean she's not responding? Because Wolf is like, hey, stay with us. And then he's with her, and she seems to just kind of I thought she was just in pain. Obviously, what she had just gone through. But then Dr. Rios, is it Dr. Rios? Yeah, he's the one that's with her. And then... Oh, the other doctor. This is the other doctor they picked up.
What is his name?
I don't know his name.
Well, the other doctor, not Rios, not Dr.
Rios
Scott.
was working on Tex.
That's right. Rios was working on Tex, who was shot in the ass. And the other doctor is working on Beavis. And then Burke comes over, and he turns, like, Beavis is on her side, and it looks like she has metal lodged into her spine.
This gnarly dude.
Yeah, and he just looks at Burke and shakes his head, says basically no, doesn't say a word, but shakes his head and doesn't look like it's gonna be good. And she says to him, I can't feel my legs. And that whole exchange where he's like, oh, it's just because they got you all strapped down, and she's like, you're a terrible liar, so you suck at poker.
She should have said, win one for the Gipper.
Win one for the Gipper? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Win one for the Gipper. Famous. Never mind. It's a football thing. It's just never mind. It has nothing to do with this. These people are big boys and girls, though. Burke's a big boy. He knows how to deal with it. Granderson's a big girl. She knows how to deal with this. I know it's tough now and it's really tough and stuff, but like these guys are pros, you know? And so Burke right there, you could see how hurt he was, but you could also see him be like, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
You know, this is a little extreme. I didn't think we'd have to go to an apocalypse to have this happen. But, you know, this is what a sailor does.
Yeah, even though you said that, you're right. This is what I signed up for. I don't think he signed up to, like, find love in this situation and then lose love.
This is why, and I'm going to talk to Travis Van Winkle about this next week. This is why you don't fall in love in these situations. I know you don't choose who you love. I get it. You know, whatever. In some cases, you got to be careful, man. And to his credit, he was careful. He was when she tried to have sex with him last episode?
Yeah,
last
it was
week?
last episode.
When she tried to have sex with him, and he was like, "No, let's wait till we get to shore." Like he was trying to be careful,
right.
But his heart was still involved.
His heart was
still
definitely, yeah.
And so it hurts.
Yeah.
But it hurts Wolf too because he has a history with her.
Exactly.
He and her have been working together.
Friendship.
So
it
it's tough either way. It's just I think tougher when you let emotions get involved. You know. So if you and I were there and you were dying, I'd be like, "Hey, we had a nice run."
Thanks, man. Oh, I feel good about myself. At the same as this whole thing's happening, Chandler also has like metal lodged on his side, which we didn't know about because he's wearing like his coat or like his jacket.
So did it go through the vest or did it hit not on the vest? Because it looked like she uncovered the vest.
Yeah, he probably had it open and then.
Or did it go up the side? Not that it matters. I believe that he took shrapnel.
Right. Exactly.
Also, he needs to just shut the hell up and go into surgery.
I think that's going to lead into it.
So I have a few fears, and one of them is anything done to my eyes creeps me out. The other one is the ocean. It's scary because it's so big. And the third one is stuff inside you. So when people say like, "Oh, his brain is bleeding," which they said with Chung, I was like, no, it's happening inside. That's gross.
Yeah.
And the other one is this, like the laceration of your liver or whatever it would have been. And he's got metal inside him. And so when he's like, "Oh, can't it be operated on now?" I'm like, take it out.
Well, he couldn't be operated because he had to go listen to Jeter's speech.
Take it out right now.
He had to go.
That's like all time creepy for me. I don't want shrapnel in my body. Take it out.
Yeah.
And dude.
But this, we had to have him get a little bit hurt or a little injured because that was the way he and Rachel Scott were gonna interact once again. Earlier in the episode, they slightly interact.
Let me ask you a question. Is it all good now between Dr. Scott and Chandler?
I am going to say no. I don't think this is like we've moved on.
No, as in he would still turn her in on the mainland.
I'm not saying he's turning her in, but I'm saying this is not the end of us hearing him talk about what she did. I don't think he's gonna turn her in whenever they get to land, but I do think this is not the end. It's not like we're moving on and we're not gonna hear it anymore. I think we're still gonna hear him talk about it, but I think it's on the right path for them to be able to, move forward and still have that relationship that they had before. Not like a romantic relationship, just doctor to captain type of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But they had an interaction earlier in the episode where we also see I know you're not. I don't care. I'll keep talking. Where we also see Foster. She has a pregnancy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was totally just
out of nowhere,
blown over. Like forget about Foster. We got an important thing to deal with. Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, so Foster's getting like a slight pregnancy checkup by Dr. Scott, and everything seems okay. He walks in quickly. Foster leaves at the very beginning. This is in the beginning of the episode, and then I found it interesting. He asks her about the cure. How fast can we spread it? How the whole, contagious cure. She explains, and then he's like, okay, like so serious, has no expression, because he's still angry. And then as he's walking away, she's like, Captain. And he just silence, and he walks away. And she says nothing. And I was like, ugh, he hates her.
Well, he does. I'm more interested that Foster got her pregnancy checkup from Dr. Scott. If Dr. Scott is grounded to the ship for just the virus, wouldn't Foster go to Doc Rios? And I know you
But
just need...
she says, I found it weird to go to a guy for...
Oh, that's true. You're right. Okay, good call. Never mind.
That's
okay.
what it was. She
Okay.
made a comment about that, because I also thought the same thing. I was like, if she's just restricted to doing certain things, how is she doing this? But then...
And I know you need it as a device to get Chandler in there and to start that. So I get it.
Exactly.
But okay, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. And then they get reunited again at the end of the episode because Chandler's hurt. And Chandler thanks Dr. Scott. And Foster thanked Dr. Scott when they had that interaction, too, when she was doing the pregnancy checkup.
Yeah.
Very sincere, Foster said thank you to Dr. Scott. And I thought Chandler was also being very sincere.
Foster's a nice woman. Mm-hmm. Chandler had his life saved.
Yeah.
Like, I'll thank somebody if they save my life.
But she's, like, saved his life more than once, technically.
Has she?
By creating the cure.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
You're like, oh, really?
That's the big one.
Yeah,
yes.
He forgot about it. No big deal.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I have a great tweet coming in, and it's gonna... Oh, man, I almost don't want to read it because it's sad.
Oh, no.
Got a couple minutes left, but we can do this tweet. It's so sad.
What is the tweet?
You said earlier that someone else dies. What if it's Foster's baby because of the virus? Dun, dun, dun. Because theoretically, maybe you couldn't immunize a baby that early because they have to get a series of shots. I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
But don't you have to get a series of shots over time with like a child? So maybe you couldn't immunize something as strong as the virus cure that early. So wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. We should go into predictions this.
Let's do that.
Let's do that, because I like this. I've said it before.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I have said it before.
Ooh, wait a minute. It's hitting the mic.
Is it?
That's good. I like this fly swatter. I think I'm going to hold it on every single show for the rest of the year.
Lucky all of us.
Unlucky is the person sitting next to me on a 4-person table because they're going to get hit.
Will be Nick. Put Nick on that side. I said this earlier in the season that Foster's baby wouldn't survive. I didn't say how. I don't think it's going to be the virus, but I agree that I do not think Foster's baby will survive, because if she has, I said this, she can't get pregnant because she's going to have to leave the ship, and Green is not going to go with her. You can't have a pregnant baby, like you can't have a pregnant lady about to pop on this ship when you're like fighting Sean Ramsey and torpedoes and all this. Like, she's got to get off the ship. That means what, Danny? Bye, Danny and Foster?
I think they would just put her on bed rest for like the last month. Don't you think you could you couldn't do without her? She's important.
But once she has the baby, what does she give it to her mom?
Well, you could probably let Tex take care of it. Who else is on the ship who could help you? Wait a second. Who else is on the ship who could help you?
Everyone else?
No, who's the one person who came on today?
Who are we talking about?
Valerie!
Oh!
Wouldn't that be weird? We don't know anything about Valerie's backstory. I don't know if she would continue on or they dump her somewhere. But we've seen that once people are on the ship, they don't leave the ship unless you have a really good place for them. So if they can't find a place for Valerie, and she hasn't been immunized yet, though she will once she's on the ship, they haven't found a good place for Valerie yet. What if she's like the caretaker and we start to learn more about her background? This is a very specific prediction. It doesn't have much to do with the main crux of the show, but it just got me thinking.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't either, but hey.
I don't think so, but I do think there's more to Valerie than meets the eye. Like, she's at the end, her and Chandler do talk, and it seems as though she's on board. Nah, I don't think she's on board yet. I think that she's figuring it out. What's in the bag? Tell me, what's in her bag?
Communication stuff, software, documents. I don't know. Whatever's in the bag, Valerie could be your new communications officer.
It's true.
Because you're going to lose Foster. That's what Foster does. She does not communications like Granderson does, but she does on ship communications and stuff, right? So you could potentially give Valerie to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Throwing stuff against the wall, seeing if it sticks.
Seeing if it sticks.
I don't have any good predictions today. I was kind of caught off guard that this stuff happened today, and I'm worried that because if it were in the second to last episode, we would have a resolution next week. Because it's in the third to last episode, we can resolve a little bit more next week, and then we can go crazy on September 6th or whatever.
That's why I said there's going to be another death.
I think so too. I'm going to have to keep my Jeter plan. I'm only keeping Jeter now because it would look disingenuous of me to back off of him.
All right,
and I'm
I respect that.
I'm not one of those people. When I say something, I stick to it.
All right.
Except for the thing about this on the rest of the shows, I will not be carrying the fly swatter anywhere else. But the Jeter thing I'm sticking to. I think he's the most apt, the most likely of the three main horsemen. I think he's the most likely to go.
I hope you're wrong.
Not saying I wouldn't miss him. I don't dislike him. I think it'd be really painful to watch him go. I just think his makes the most sense.
Yeah, it just would suck to lose him, not just because we love him so much, but just because of all those speeches. Like, it would suck to lose him for that, because then who are we going to have? I'm going to do a prediction. Aisha might go. Aisha, I say, could possibly be killed off.
Why, though? Like, would you miss her that much? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like...
Because of that. Like, we know her well enough. We have a relationship. We know her by name. We've, been with her since season 1 type of thing. But it won't affect the ship operation that much.
Take that one step further. A person we know very well won't affect the ship operation that much. Be very tough to see go. Tex.
No.
I think it'd be crazy. I don't want to see him go. But if you're going to kill a big character, even different than Jeter, if you're going to kill a big character, I think Tex could go. Only because he's really important on missions and stuff, but he's not a sailor. He's an extra. He's a hanger-on. So theoretically, as valuable as he is, you would think that the last ship, that the USS Nathan James would be like, well, we can find a way without him, because he's found money. We didn't expect him, even as long as he's been around. And I think it hurts so bad to see Tex go. But I don't want it to happen. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying it could happen. And I think he'd be the crazy prediction.
If Tex goes, I say it goes saving Rachel Scott.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's how he'll go. If he goes out with a bang, being a hero.
If Tex goes, I go. No. But close. I would really miss that guy. But I think he's, of all the main characters, I think he certainly could, because we know him so well, and yet he's so extra.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
I know. Tell us what you think. Tweet us. Please tweet Bobby at Bobby DeMuro on Twitter. You can tweet me at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos.
And before we forget...
It's a couple of things. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yes.
Comment, tweet us any questions, anything you want to tell us. And what Bobby's about to tell you is very important.
Tuesday, September 1, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Next Tuesday, 9 days from now, Travis Van Winkle will be in here. Not the normal Sunday show.
No.
We are not going on the 30th. We're going on Tuesday, September 1st, a little late. The stupid VMAs. Everything gets screwed up when we're on award shows. But Tuesday, September 1, Travis Van Winkle is going to be sitting right here. So send us your questions. You can tweet them to us. You can do them on YouTube. You can send a carrier pigeon. I don't give a damn. Get them to us.
Just get them to us.
I already have a bunch of good ones so far, so keep them up. We'll see you guys in 9 days.
Yes. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.